What's going on, everyone? This is Silky, and in today's video we are going over the major update coming to Dead by Daylight. As teased, we knew we were going to get a Resident Evil chapter, and it was released today during their live stream on Twitch. Now, with this update, we got 2 new survivors, 1 new killer, and 1 brand new map, and we're gonna dive in to what kind of perks we can expect for these new survivors and killers. Right now we are on the PTB, so we can actually see what is going to come out on June 15th. As you can see, included with this was Jill, Valentine, as well as Leon S. Kennedy. Before we get into the killer and the map and all of that fun stuff, let's first look at their perks, and let's start with Jill. Now, Jill's 3 perks are Blast Mine, Counterforce, and Resurgence. Now, Resurgence allows you to gain a 40% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. It's a big time saver for you and your teammates. Moving on to Counterforce, and this is one of my favorites as a Nancy main who loves to cleanse totems. You are actually going to be able to cleanse totems 20% faster with this perk, and then after cleansing a totem, you see the aura of the furthest totem from you for 2 seconds and gain an additional 20% stackable speed bonus to cleansing totems for the remainder of the trial. So you should have no problem with no ed if Counterforce is a part of your build. And moving on to her final perk, Blast Mine. Now, this is pretty unique in terms of you actually setting off a trap as a survivor. So Blast Mine activates after completing a total of 66% worth of repair progress on gens. After repairing a gen for at least 3 seconds, you're going to press the ability button to install a trap, which activates for 35 seconds. The affected generator is going to be revealed to all the survivors within a yellow aura, and only 1 trap can be activated on a gen. When the killer damages a trap generator, the trap's going to explode, it's going to stun them and blind anyone nearby. So a part of me feels like survivors could also get blinded by this, or perhaps they're talking about the undead that will also be coming to this game. But we'll get a little bit more into the zombies when we discuss the killer. Now, once that trap does go off, Blast Mine is going to be deactivated. Now let's move on to Leon S. Kennedy. Now, Leon's 3 perks are Bite the Bullet, Flashbang, and Rookie Spirit. Now let's start first with Rookie Spirit. So after completing 5 good or great skill checks, which would be pretty easy while repairing a gen, you can activate Rookie Spirit for the remainder of the trial, and once it's active, you can see the aura of regressing generators. This is obviously going to be pretty good for Ruin if the killer is running that as one of their perks. Now, moving on to Flashbang, which is one of the most interesting perks out there right now. They actually talked about this a bit in the Twitch live stream today. As you can see here,
you will be able to spawn a unique item, a Flashbang, inside the match. So that's an item you don't need to equip in your loadout before the match. It's something that you will create within the match you're in.
Now, after completing 70% progress on any generator, Flashbang is going to activate. You're going to enter a locker while empty-handed and press the ability button to craft a flash grenade, so you don't have to bring an item into the trial. You're going to make one in the trial yourself. It's going to have 1 charge. It'll detonate with a loud bang and flashing light. And not only is it going to create a noise notification, but it can be used to distract or blind the killer. Now, you aren't going to leave the trial with the flash grenade. Obviously, this is something you're going to have to continuously make every single time you enter a new game. But this is a really unique perk in the sense that the killer has no idea when it's coming. Obviously, when you have a flashlight, the killer knows that and they can prepare themselves in advance, but this time you're going to be making it in the level, so it just adds that element of surprise, which is so cool. Now let's move on to this last perk here, which is Bite the Bullet. Now, you make no noise, including grunts of pain, when healing. There is no noise notification on failed healing skill checks, and healing regresses by only 3%. Now, this is obviously interesting, especially in a tight situation when you're trying to heal up really quick. I'm not sure how it goes against Iron Will or anything like that, but that is it for the survivors. All right, now let's move on to the Nemesis, who is by far the largest killer in this DLC. Now, the Nemesis is pretty cool in the sense that he actually has zombies roaming around on the map that can go after survivors. Now, these are computers. He has no control over the zombies whatsoever, but it is a very interesting touch and something new to this game.
This killer is assisted by AI characters. So we are adding zombies to the maps when you are facing the Nemesis.
Now let's go over his 3 personal perks. First on the list, we have the Lethal Pursuer. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 7 seconds. Now this is awesome because it gives you a good head start on where you need to go in order to find those survivors. Moving on to Hysteria. Whenever you put a healthy survivor in an injured state with the basic attack, all injured survivors suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 30 seconds, and it can only trigger every 60 seconds. And finally, Eruption. After kicking a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor in the dying state with a basic attack, every affected generator explodes, regressing their progress by 6% and causing their auras to disappear. Any survivor repairing a gen when it explodes will scream and suffer from the incapacitated status effect for 14 seconds. So very interesting and useful perks. Now let's talk about T-Virus, which is Nemesis's power. So first things first, we have the Tentacle Strike, and by pressing and holding the power button to charge an attack, you can unleash the Tentacle Strike. Hitting a survivor with this strike afflicts them with the contaminated status effect and increases your mutation rate. If a survivor is already contaminated, Tentacle Strike damages their health. So as you can see here, this is what an infected survivor looks like. And one of the things survivors can now do while they're infected is find vaccines around the map. Now, based on what we've learned from the live stream, there are only a limited number of vaccines available per match, so survivors need to be strategic about whether or not they want to cure themselves of this contamination. Now, let's talk about the mutation rate for your Tentacle Strike. So your power is going to expand as your mutation rate grows. Once you get to level 2, Tentacle Strike can destroy pallets and breakable walls. And once you're at 3, Tentacle Strike's range increases, so you're able to hit survivors from a further distance. T-Virus icon displays the current level of the mutation rate. Now, let's talk about these zombies because they are a very, very unique feature to DBD. So when a zombie attacks a survivor, they inflict them with the contaminated effect. If a survivor is already contaminated, their health will be damaged, similar to how the Tentacle Strike works. Now, zombies can be destroyed by a Tentacle Strike to increase your mutation rate, which is why we saw in the trailer that Nemesis was actually hurting his own zombies. Now, survivors also have the ability to get rid of zombies by destroying them with a pellet drop. So similar to how you would stun a killer with one, you can use it on zombies to get rid of them. Now, after a certain amount of time, zombies will be respawning again. So this is probably only best to do if you are in a dire situation where you need to get rid of a zombie immediately. Now, any means necessary will probably be a great perk for survivors to have, so they aren't wasting all the pallets on the map trying to get rid of those zombies.
Now, in another video, I'd like to go over how I think these perks will play out in matches, what will go great with what, but I'm gonna save that for another video. Let's now turn over to the actual map reveal that was shown on the Dead by Daylight Twitch stream. Now, this map is highly detailed, and as they stated in the video, is supposed to mimic exactly what the Raccoon police station looked like in the Resident Evil game. For the most part, this is an indoor map with lots of rooms. It sort of reminded me of the elementary school in a way because there are those outside elements, but There's not too much of it. There's essentially 3 levels to the map. The first level, the second floor, and then a floor above that one that is, you know, not too big in comparison to the other 2 floors. Navigating this map is definitely a learning curve because there is so much to it, and it's a little interesting to try and figure out which rooms are actually dead ends and could get you downed because of that, and what you can actually loop around to waste the killer's time. You're going to see the actual offices of the police stations as well as the bathrooms. And besides using the staircase, we do have those holes in the ground again, as you could see there, that we do on those other 2-story indoor maps. Overall, the design of this level is beautiful. The wood textures, the way the floor looks, it's all really beautiful, and I think they captured exactly what they wanted to do, which was make this game really immersive and make it feel like you are in a movie. The atmosphere of it is super eerie. You can see the fog coming off the floor and then those just hints of light making it a little bit more eerie. But as I was playing on this map, I realized, wow, this is massive, and I actually feel like for the killer as well, this could be very difficult to navigate and try and find survivors. Now, I think that's where one of the Nemesis perks actually comes in handy when survivors' auras are revealed to you at the start of the game. So it'll be really interesting to see what people like about this map and how they can effectively maneuver it as a survivor and as a killer. But I know that when I was playing it on the PTB, I was definitely getting lost and struggling a bit to find generators. But overall, I'm super happy that they're bringing new maps into the game. Fans have been wanting this for quite a while, so it's nice to see that they're delivering on that, and that they've hinted that they have 2 maps in store for Dead by Daylight's 6th year. Now that essentially covers it for our overview. In the comments down below, let me know, what are you most excited for this Resident Evil update? There's obviously a lot to unpack. 2 new survivors, 1 new killer, 9 new perks, and 1 new map. So let me know what your favorite was. I would love to hear it. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more Dead by Daylight content, and I will see you in the next video.